Hello everybody. I want to let everyone know that this video is strictly opinion. Okay? This video is strictly opinion. It's my opinion. You know, you don't have to take my beliefs and make them your own. I just personally believe, even though I'm making a video on the internet right now, that it is destroying our world. That is actually destroying you. You know, that whether you want to believe it or not, you are addicted to something. And do you want to know what you're addicted to? It's not weed, it's not alcohol, it's not coffee, it's not vaping. It's that little device you're watching on right now. Because it's always in your pocket. It's always in your hand. It's always with you. No matter what, right? And as soon as, I'm touching my pocket, it's not with me. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's my phone? Where is my phone? Stand up. Is it underneath you? You see, everybody becomes a target once you lose your phone. It's kind of like losing the TV remote, but it's a phone. You see, everybody, let me tell you why I think the internet is ruining our world, destroying our world, whatever, corrupting it. It's like a little parasite that slid in, and now it's destroying everything. First, let me talk about why I think the internet is so amazing, because obviously it's amazing as well. You know, it's flawed because look who made it, human beings. But hey, the internet's still amazing. One reason why the internet is still amazing is because, one, you get to look at me. I'm beautiful. I'm sexy. I'm just kidding. I would never be able to speak to you right now if it was not for the internet. I would not be able to do the thing that I love the absolute most in my life, the thing that is literally keeping me alive, the thing that is literally my lifeline, if the internet did not exist. You see, everybody, life is hard, okay? And by going on the internet, you're making it 1,000 times harder. Let me give you a conversation that I had with my Nana the other day. In your lifetime, actually no, not in your lifetime because you're different. Let's think about your father or your mother, whether they are there or not there. How many hot women do you think your father's seen in his lifetime? Throw out a number, 10, 100, 1,000, 5,000, whatever you want to throw out. You said your number, you said your answer, whatever. How many hot women do you think I have seen in my life? Probably not much, right? You're probably looking at me like, oh, he hasn't seen a lot of hot women. Look at him. I have seen maybe millions. And let me explain, it's not because I've traveled the entire world, seen coast to coast, been to every country, been to every little nook and cranny in every state. No. It's because I own a cellular device, of course. You know, I mean, look at me. I'm a hot guy. You would have never known who I was if it was not for the internet. That is one positive thing. But there's more positives, but right now I'm talking about a negative. You're probably wondering, oh, Matthew, why does it have to do with anything, how many people you see? Well, in the back of your mind, everybody, you are constantly comparing the people you see in front of you to the people that you have archived in your brain. Okay, whether you want to do that consciously or subconsciously, you're doing it. Okay, and since I have seen, well, basically so many people, so many hot guys, so many hot girls, whatever, it's going to be very hard for me to filter out, you know, because I've seen people out of my area. I've seen people that would have otherwise never seen before. Okay, and I feel like that is what the internet does the best. You know, it allows you to have every single piece of information at your fingertips. But you know what? How do I put in my water heater? I don't know. Let me look it up. Let me ask ChatGPT, or let me ask Google. Let me ask Safari. Let me ask anybody besides my goddamn self and learn how to do it myself. Let me not read the manual. Let me not learn how to do it myself. That is the problem. Nobody is learning how to do anything themselves anymore. In 30 years, when you go into a doctor room, okay, let me pretend here. Let me pretend. Hello, sir. Hello. So I'm gonna be taking your exam today. It seems like you have a brain surgery. Oh God, Jesus Christ, I can't. It seems like you have a brain surgery that I need to get to today. Okay, hold on. Let me whip out my cellular. ChatGPT, how to perform brain surgery. All right, sir, let's get him under anesthesiatic. Whatever, get the anesthesia in him. Let's fucking get him out. Let's get him out. Sir, please. No, please. Sir, I thought you were a real doctor. He cheated. Not because it was his fault. Well, because the school made it online, didn't it? You know, it didn't make you in person. You know, let me tell you guys, let me take us back. Let me take us back to 2020. 2020. In 2020, I was in 9th grade. believe it or not. 2020, I was in 9th grade, right? And I remember vividly that there was 2 weeks off because of a little thing called COVID-19. A little disease, you know, it's going around, it's destroying the world, whatever. And this has nothing to do with the internet, but this has everything to do with my life. And honestly, I think obviously it affects everybody. 10th grade, all right, so I went to 9th grade about 2 semesters. Then I left out. I didn't drop out, but like obviously it went online. So the other 2 semesters, I went good. I would have probably failed 9th grade if it wasn't for online schooling. It doesn't matter. 10th grade had a completely, my grades were literally perfect because I cheated. Am I even allowed to say that? Whatever. 11th grade, perfect. But then finally, all right, so here's the thing. I barely went in person for high school. I was in 2 semesters in 9th grade, and then I came back senior year. I was one of those people that was a freshman, and then I came back as a senior. Very odd. Very, very, very weird. You see, everybody, I don't know how to socialize for anything. I don't know how to socialize to save my life, okay? So let me tell you another story. There was this guy who I knew. He's my friend to this day. He's my online friend who I would have not known if it was not for my PlayStation. Thank God for the internet. Anyway, he also doesn't know how to talk to people. However, he talks to a lot of people, even though he doesn't know how to. And what he told me kind of resonated me. It's going to stick with me for a long time. He said, Matthew, I don't know how to talk to people for shit. I pretend I know how to. And god damn, that actually does sound pretty perfect, bro. Get out there, fake it until you make it. Period. You know what I mean? Yeah. You might wake up in the morning and you might look at yourself in the mirror and you might hate what you see. But if you pretend that you don't, if you pretend to be joyful, if you pretend to smile, soon your brain won't be able to tell the difference. It is very hard for your brain to distinguish reality from imagination. That is why you spend so much time in your bedroom with your head down, doing absolutely nothing, because that is what feels good. You know, it feels good to sit down on your ass and scroll on TikTok for 12 hours and think about absolutely nothing besides for the TikTok in front of you. But you're not really living, are you? If you go on TikTok right now after this video and you scroll maybe 5 videos or Instagram Reels, Snapchat, whatever, and then close it out for 30 seconds. What was the third reel that you seen? What was the third TikTok you watched? Explain it to me. You probably wouldn't be able to. And you want to know why? Not because you weren't paying attention. It's because you were not there. When you're in that moment, when you're in the moment of doing drugs or on your phone or doing like smoking a cigarette, you're in a zone where you don't really care about anything. You know, only about what is in front of you. That's why being productive, getting out there, going to the gym, talking to people, just moving around is so important, because when you are staying still, that is exactly when depression, anxiety, and all of his other friends come ahead and they group on you and they destroy you. As long as you continue to move, as long as you continue to talk, speak, move, and be something, you can make something happen for you whether you believe it or not. Let me explain why the internet's so horrible. Let's say you have something bad happen to you. Oh my God, my parents just died. But you know what? I've been around the block. I've been on the internet. I know that I may have had a bad thing happen to me, but there are people out there that have it much worse. Absolutely. And you probably just agreed with me, you know, like, oh yeah, there's people out there who have it worse. You know, you should be happy for it. Be happy. Something good happens to me. Let's say something good happens to me. I get money, or I get a job, or I get a girl. All right. Now I'm out there. I'm comparing myself to everybody else. Oh, people have it better. So what happened to me really wasn't even that cool anyway. See how it is contradicting everything. Negative things happen. Oh, it's not really that bad because people have it worse. Oh, positive things happen, but it's not really that positive because other people have it more positive than me. Stop comparing who you are. Stop comparing yourself to who somebody else is today. Okay? Because every single person has a different journey. Every single person has a different perspective. And sometimes, everybody, even when it feels like you are at your lowest of low, even when it feels like you can't do anything at all, even when it feels like you can't get it done, you can. Even if it feels impossible, even if it feels like it can never be done, it can. You need to keep on moving. Seriously. And don't stop for anybody. You keep on moving. You know, when you realize something, you know, you realize that you are who you are, you know, and there's not really anything that could change that, but you're here. You know, you're not just your sad story. You're not just what has happened to you. You're alive. You know what you have in common with every single main character, every single superhero, every main character from a video game, every single fable, main, whatever? If you could pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and you could write down every fucked up thing, every horrible thing that's ever happened to you, that is what you have in common with every superhero, every main character, every badass. It's what you've been through. The things that make you weak actually are what make you strong. Because the things that you have been through, you've been trying your entire life to move on, to get rid of the things that have happened to you. But you know what? No. It's all about acting in despite of that. Yeah, I might have a little bit of anxiety. Yeah, I might have a little bit of depression. Yeah, I might actually hate myself a little bit. But you know what? That's not going to stop me from standing up, making a video, standing up, doing what I got to do, standing up, doing what I have to do. And one day in life, you'll realize that. You know, that it was never about the surroundings. It was always about you. That you were the purpose. That you should always work on bettering yourself. That is exactly why when you go on these TikToks, you go on these Instagrams, you go on these Snapchat, you even go on YouTube and you watch these motivational videos. Watching the motivational content leaves you, watching the content, improving content, it leaves you less time to actually improve yourself. Watching more motivational content, watching content that... This 10 minutes that you've been watching the video, you could have been getting out there, going into the gym, doing whatever you got to do, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay? If a website is free, it is probably because you are the product. There's two things in this life that are most important. Not money, not how much people like you. No. It's your attention. It's your time. Two things you can never get back. You could always make more money. You could always make more friends. You can never make more time. So if you want to spend an entire week laying on your bed, rotting, hoping that something changes, hoping that maybe you will wake up happier the next day, you won't. You want to know why you won't? Because you need to make yourself happy. You need to put on the big boy shoes and get out there and try your best, no matter how fucking hard it is. That's the difference. That is the $1 million difference. That the successful people, that the reason why you're not is not because they're special. Not because they went out there and did something grand. No. They are something that most people are not. Consistent. The ability to believe in one's self. That is what sets them apart. You know, no one is going to believe in your dream as much as you believe in your dream. And do you want to know why? Well, because it's your dream. I know we're moving back and forth in the internet and real life and internet and real life, but at a certain point, it kind of is the same. You know, because my life is the internet. You know, as much as I don't want to believe it or not, 60, maybe 65% of my life is the internet. It's being on my phone, being on my PlayStation, talking to people that I've never even met before, losing that empathy bone, losing socialization. You see, I could sit here and talk to many people over the phone, but I can't even have a one-on-one conversation with anybody. And I don't know why that is. I don't know how that is. Maybe it's because of the internet. Maybe it's because of what it's done to my head, corrupted me. I don't know. Basically, what I'm trying to say, everybody, is I'm not trying to say, oh, you should destroy your phone right now or you should destroy the internet. No. Just realize what it is. You know, realize that back in the day, if you did not see Susie, you can't stalk Susie's social media 50 years ago. You'd have to wait until you see Susie again. Sometimes I'm jealous of my grandparents and the way they grew up. Because they grew up without internet, without phones. They actually played outside. Live your life, everybody. And if there's one thing that I want you to do for me, one thing. I don't want you to like the video. I don't want you to do anything interactive. I want you to do something for yourself. I want you to stay positive. Please. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for me. Okay? Thank you guys for watching the video. Matthew's back on his shit. I will see you guys when I see you guys, bro. Stay positive and keep it going.